All right, a Liberty update here on home firearms manufacturing. There's a lot going on that you need to know about. First of all, FOSSCAD.org, that's FOSSCAD.org, they've released a downloadable massive file set of 3D printable pistols and AR receivers. Obviously, always follow your local laws if you're making these firearms, but I believe in every state except New Jersey, it's currently legal. That might be changing because a lot of liberal states are trying to ban this, but in most places and under federal law, it's legal to manufacture your own gun as long as you don't, sell them to others. You can't just become a gun dealer without, of course, getting an FFL license and things like that. But FOSSCAD.org has these downloadable AR-15 receivers, and I got the file pack, and it's pretty cool. There are a number of receivers that you can print. Now there's a new print head from a company called Lulzbot, which is the 3D printer company, Lulzbot. Lulzbot has a print head called a hardened steel print head, just came out, and it can handle the very coarse filaments, such as the new ColorFab filament. That's I think it's called a polyamide carbon fiber. It might be PA-CF, but it's from ColorFab. That's Color FABB, and the ColorFab filament is extremely durable. It's harder than nylon, and I think it's going to make a very durable receiver for an AR platform. So I'm actually in the process of setting that up. I'll be printing those myself and testing them on video to share those results with you. There's a group out there that is trying to flood the 3D print file community with fake 3D print files. And I forgot the name of the group, doesn't matter, but they see that 3D printing of firearms is going to spread liberty everywhere around the world. It's the democratization of firepower. And, it's the concentration of guns in the hands of corrupt governments that creates evil and leads to genocide and, is a danger to all humans around the world. It's the decentralization of firepower, the democratization of firepower in the hands of the people that actually creates a balance of power and leads to more liberty, more government transparency, and so on. So when you are supporting the 3D gun printing community, you're supporting liberty, you're supporting peace, and you're helping people avoid the kind of tyranny and genocide, what's called democide, that governments have carried out around the world throughout world history. Just in the last, I think, 150 years, governments have murdered 262 million people. That's according to University of Hawaii research. That's a quarter of a billion people murdered by governments, and in almost every case, it was preceded by gun control, or there were laws in place to prevent the people from having guns. So 3D printing and also the ghost gunner milling machines that can mill out receivers. So you buy 80% receivers online. You don't need a background check to do that. You don't need a serial number or a stamp or anything. You can mill out your receiver with a ghost gunner, and you can build up an AR from that. And I've done that as well. That absolutely works because they're aluminum receivers. They're very durable. They function. Well, Ghost Gunner has just announced now a new jig for the Polymer 80 pistols, which are 80% pistol frames. They basically resemble Glocks. And you buy Glock parts and a Glock slide and a Glock barrel and so on, and you can assemble essentially a Glock firearm that you make yourself without an FFL situation. And you don't necessarily have to have a serial number on it. Again, keep it legal. I always encourage you, keep it legal. I keep it legal. I don't build illegal guns. I don't have automatic weapons, nothing like that. I always follow the law, so check your local laws, but also exercise your freedom and your liberty to do this. So I just received my shipment of the new pistol jig from Ghost Gunner, Defense Distributed, I think is the company name. And so I'm going to be drilling out or milling out a pistol receiver and trying that and seeing how that works, and also reporting that on video as well. But that's the update. There's a lot of new materials like that ColorFab filament, and new print heads like that Lulzbot hardened steel print head, new technologies that will allow you to manufacture incredibly durable firearms in your own home. Now, they're going to set up false flags using 3D printed receivers so they can blame the 3D gun industry. So mark my words on this. Mark the date, mark the time. What is today? March 1st, 2019. They're going to set up a massive Las Vegas scale false flag event involving somebody with a 3D printed receiver or a 3D printed gun. because they have to demonize 3D printed guns. They have to call for a nationwide ban on 3D printing parts and 3D printing technology, or even the Ghost Gunner, which is a milling machine, not a 3D printer, CNC machine, basically. So you can bet there's a false flag operation being planned right now to have a mass slaughter carried out with a 3D printed gun. Have no doubt about it. That is coming, 100%, absolutely guaranteed. It's just a question of when it's going to happen. So my advice is, it's good to take inventory of these things now. Get the 3D printer now. Get the Ghost Gunner CNC machine now. Get the 80% lowers now while you can. Get the filament now. Get the print head. It costs a little bit of money. Obviously, this stuff isn't free. The print head alone is a few $100s. But if you can afford this, get this now, because then in the future, all you need is filament. The filament, you can make receivers. And the military is using this technology so they can actually create military parts in the field, on site. The US military, the Pentagon, is investing huge dollars in 3D printing technology. And if they have the right filaments, and they're missing parts. I mean, I'm talking about usable, functional parts for weapon systems or soldier gear, or firearms, or tank parts even. I'm not talking about like transmission gears. Obviously, those have to be hardened steel. But a lot of parts can be made out of this nylon carbon fiber type of filament right on the spot. So your logistics supply lines become easier. The military recognizes this is crucial, and that's why they're investing in this technology.